Late night at the Democratic Convention. Politicians, protesters, and Dueling James Taylor bits. The line got swallowed a little by applause in the studio, but at the top of Tuesday's Daily Show from Chicago, host Desi Lydic said James Taylor would appear on the show after being bumped from Monday night's Democratic National Convention programming. She said so again midway through the episode, only to inform viewers at the end that the singer-songwriter had, again, been cut, because the show ran long. A few hours later and a few miles away, CBS Late Show with Stephen Colbert opened with tape of Taylor singing Fire and Rain, with decidedly less mellow lyrics than the original version. A sample, "I'll set fires and I'll bring pain / I'll bend your limbs in ways that limbs should never bend." Both of course were bits. Lydic told the Daily Show studio audience during a break that the show wanted to play on the previous night's overlong convention program, and the Late Show opening was dubbed, rather convincingly, of a prior film of Taylor performing. Watch both below. Although they were covering the same news events in the same city, The Daily Show and The Late Show only overlapped with their Taylor jokes on Tuesday. The Hollywood Reporter attended both shows. Here's how they went. The Daily Show. The Comedy Central show is set up at the Athenaeum Center for Thought and Culture in Chicago's Lakeview neighborhood for the week. It's doing pre-take shows Monday through Wednesday before wrapping up with a live episode Thursday night, hosted by Jon Stewart. Because Tuesday's convention programming was just getting underway as taping began a little after 5 p.m. Central Time, The Daily Show mostly used the first night of the DNC for material, in keeping with the show's usual mo, when it's at home base in New York. We usually cover the prior day's news the next day on the show. Showrunner and executive producer Jen Flans told THR last week, prior to decamping for Chicago. But there are general themes that we know they're going to talk about at the convention, and obviously the Republicans are going to be out there reacting to what happened, so that will all get folded in. We do it as much in real time as we can. On Tuesday, that meant an opening segment on how long poor President Joe Biden had to wait before he spoke Monday night. A live green screen shot with Ronnie Ching wearing an American flag suit, and a shot of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who was reportedly rather forceful in urging Biden to end his re-election campaign, holding a "We Heart Joe" sign on the convention floor. That's like the iceberg waving goodbye to the Titanic, Lydic joked. The month since Biden stepped aside and endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris has brought an unending stream of news and reaction from political players and pundits that is the Daily Show's stock in trade. Before Biden's announcement, supervising producer Elise Terrell told THR, "We were like, all right, we know the jokes. We know what we're going after, and of course we'll always come up with new angles. But this is just such a wealth of new information, and new reactions and new attacks that are fun for us to cover. We've got 2 new Democratic candidates, essentially, and 1 new Republican candidate in J.D. Vance. Being able to tackle all of the different angles that have been thrown our way has been really, really fun." The show is having political figures as guests all week. On Tuesday, Illinois Rep. Lauren Underwood, who spoke Monday night at the convention, came on to discuss the work she's done in Congress to advance bills to improve maternal health and outcomes and family policies. Her parents were in attendance as well, a fact discovered by the show's warm-up comic, Vince August, when he was bantering with audience members before the show. "That's never happened before," he said of picking out a guest's family to question before the show. Lydic did a clean show, only pausing once to redo a line, and drew a number of huge laughs from the audience in the 863-seat theater, which is more than 4 times the size of the Daily Show's New York studio. She took a few questions from the audience after just before the taping concluded, and the audience was out with several hours to spare before the show aired. Or perhaps get across town to see another late-night show. The Late Show. A half-mile walk And 20-minute ride away from the Athenaeum Center is the Auditorium Theater, a 135-year-old building that seats nearly 4,000 people, about 10 times the capacity of the Late Show's home base, the Ed Sullivan Theater in Manhattan. The line for Tuesday's show stretched for several blocks, and audience members watched a CBS News feed of the convention while waiting for the show to start.